Shalom, shalom, mashalom chem. Shalom, shalom, mashalom chem. Mashalom chem. Shalom, shalom. How are you doing? Mashalom chem. I'm asking in the masculine tense. How are you doing? Mashalom chem. Once again, you know who it is. Great brother Nubian King on the airways to give it to you. You know, over here we do thoughts and dialogue and what have you like that. The intelligent folks hang out over here. Nubian King plays for intelligent folks together. And I did the last video, I gave you my spiritual thoughts concerning the Hebrews to Negroes information. Today, that's what I want to focus on. The information, because I'm studying. Ooh, yeah. Y'all know, some of you all know that I was anointed Hebrew priest in the year 2003 up here in Israel, right? That was after years of intense biblical study. All right. And so, I give some classes, I teach them. We travel all over Israel. We've taken many of our people from the diaspora, mainly out of America, on tours all around Israel to show you the African Edenic connection to the land of Israel and how you intricately tie into this land. And it's all biblical based. Now, the reason why I say, forgive me. Let me remind you to go ahead and hit the like button and hit the subscribe so that you can subscribe to the channel, and every time I put a video up, boom, you can be notified that the Nubian King done dropped another one. And also, the subscribe, like, and the notification bell. I said that because over here we this is where the intelligence hang out at. We don't be arguing, fussing, and fighting, and acting a fool. We want to share thoughts and information to make you think, something for you to consider. And you know what? Because everybody on here are so intelligent, a lot of the things that I say is basically what you thought about or been saying and thinking yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then you come here and you more than likely have some more thoughts after listening to me. And I want to thank you for subscribing. I want to thank you for tuning in and listening. Love you with a perfect love. All right. Today I want to talk about what's the problem with black people learning who we are. What's the problem with black people learning that we Hebrews? I've never seen any problem with black folks learning they Christian, Catholic, Protestants, Buddhists, and there's one called Tao, you know what I'm saying? Hare Krishna. All these different faiths. I've never seen anybody have a problem with black people being in them or learning them or being a part of it or studying them or whatever. But when it comes to black people learning that they're Hebrews, it's a big problem. But why? You sit up here learning that you descendants of one of the 12 sons of Jacob, and those sons made up the house of Israel, the nation of Israel, and this is all we saying. That's who you are. Then, with the incredible research that the great brother Ron Dalton has done and put in book form, video form, and I've been on his website every night studying. I got the book, I'm reading, and it is literally fascinating. I listened to the brother speak to one of the pastors. I forgot the pastor name, but what I remember about the pastor is the epitome of a great interviewer. What do I mean by that? I've seen so many interviews where a question was asked of the interviewee, the person that's being interviewed. And then as they answer the question, they begin to get in this type rhythm, like they go into the answer, they get into it, they get in their stride, they bring the information, and they just about to hit a major thought, and boom, the interviewer says something, asks another question, interjects something, and throw the people off. causing them to break from that one bit major point that they was getting to. And you know, sometimes when I see that happen, it make me feel like the interviewer want to be seen like he know too. Just shut up and let him talk. You asked the question. But this pastor, in interviewing a brother like Ron Dalton, was the perfect individual. He wasn't trying to say nothing like he knew something. He didn't want you to think, yeah, I know. Because you don't know. I'm 61 years. I told you I done studied the Bible for years. Lived in Israel over 40 years. Yeah, whatever. But I'm like a little child listening to this brother talk. Because I ain't never did no DNA research to find out who, what, when, where, and why. But you can't see. I listened to one of them try to talk with this brother and put down their little information. But you know one thing I noticed, whenever they talk, it's just something they say. You see, for years, they've been able to just say stuff and it fly because that's who they are. And ain't nobody really had nothing to challenge them. But it's, you know, those brothers and sisters that Hebrew scholars, and they know who these people are. They know who themselves are. But, you know, it's like, when the spiritual door is not open, it's just like you saying that. Ain't nobody really paying attention. But now that spiritual door has been opened, everybody is listening now. And it's having another type of impact. People going back and replaying these videos and listening to these classes like, wait a minute. Hold it. Now, what was that you said? And so if brothers and sisters is learning, you understand that they're Hebrew from the house of Israel, what's the big issue? What's the big deal? Finally, after hundreds of years, black folks can finally know, according to the DNA, who's who. I think that's a great thing. But the only people that would have a problem with that are those that have taken advantage of the black folk that we didn't know who we were. You understand? Because you know, you've seen this, we've seen it, we lived this. When you have low self-esteem, man, you be a certain kind of way. It's like, you know, you don't really love yourself a certain kind of way. And you may let certain things slide that a person with high self-esteem, high self-value, high love of self, ain't no way in the world they're going to let that happen. They got too much love for themselves. They ain't finna let that go. Because they know who they are. They know their land, their language, their culture. They know who they are. And they know they not about to let you do that to them. Okay, so what happened with black folk? Oh, we was taught as children that we came to America on the bottom of a boat. We were slaves. That's what they taught us. And then they said Christopher Columbus was a great explorer. He discovered our great country, America. That's what they taught them. Now, how would you feel if all you knew is that you came, your ancestors, slaves? Would you have a lot of self-esteem? Would you feel like you're a high-value person? Would you feel good about yourself? Would you have a lot of pride knowing that you came? And that's where they started teaching. Now, our history started on the bottom of a boat. Their history, oh, Christopher Columbus, a great explorer, discovered America. So yeah, you have a lot of self-pride about yourself. You know, you feel good. Oh man, my forefathers discovered this country. But now, the tables are turning. I listened to that brother explain this information according to the DNA. It was amazing, man. I can't wait to get back home and listen to some more, but I got the book, okay, and I sit here and read it on my phone. And yeah, I studied all that stuff to become a Hebrew priest, whatever. I was inspired by the Spirit to do that, and I did it, and I got anointed. But when listening to great brother Dalton, it dawned on me, we never studied from that position. See, he studied to know who's who. Okay, and it wasn't so and he wasn't so he didn't stop just at the Bible. He went way beyond the Bible to go in there and find, okay, you say this, let's go verify it. And then it started that incredible road learning. And then he used the DNA of the people to determine who's who. And he has this down pack so strong that he could just sit there and tell you the DNA first and then tell you what tribe that is. Where most people be the tribe first and where they from. No, he go to the root and say they're of the DNA strand of E1, B1, 2, or B2, B, like that. He say the DNA strand first, then what tribe that goes with, because he done did this research so detailed that he know the DNA first and what tribe and what land they deal with. And then he done traveled all many different places. So he's very, very astute on what he's talking about. And can't nobody jump up and pop up and just say, oh, that ain't true. Well, if you say it ain't true, then what you had to do is prove it ain't true. Ain't no more of that and them just saying, no, this ain't irrelevant. This was that and we did this and our people, all that. Yeah, whatever. But our people, the same thing. What about them 400 years? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no more you just saying it and cause you who you are. It flies. That's over with. Because today you got to bring them receipts, partner. You got to bring your proof. And we got to verify your proof is what it is. You can't just be popping up here because somebody wrote a book somewhere that you know and that's your book. Okay, that's your book. But that don't mean your book is truthful. This here business is chopped down to the most minute understanding that your book don't go into the DNA of who's who. So you can't say I'm anti-Semitic when I am now been proven to be a Semite from the tribe of Shem, and you over there from the tribe of Japheth, and you calling me anti-Semitic? And there's nothing they could say because they say they from that tribe. The Khazars and all this Ashkenazis and all this kind of stuff, that's where they from. And so, I'm listening to the dude and he said that's irrelevant. Whoa, hold up. Now you just quoted out the Bible. But now when I'm using the same quote and book to show you who you are and who I am, now it's irrelevant. You know what? Back in the day, it used to be that. They could just say stuff and that was it. Because everybody felt like they was the holy people of God. Nowadays, that's over with. The tides have changed, the tables have changed, the winds have changed, the energy have changed, the metaphysics have changed, and then the ignorance that used to be over these people is gone. Just like that statement, I'm going DEFCON 3, was the match to start the fire of desire to know who you are, and it just happened to be kaboom. This brother has went way beyond anything they ever did to find out who you are, and nobody can challenge that. You cannot jump up and say, because not only is he saying who we are, he's saying who they are and everybody else. And they can't come and say, oh, that ain't true just because they don't want it to be true. That's who you are now. Everybody now, every tub sit on its own bottom. And you're not going to jump in and say you don't want that bottom because you don't like that. That's who you are. That's it. Cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? And so the only people that will have a problem with black folks learning who they are the ones that's been taking the ones that's been taking advantage of the fact that black people didn't know who they were. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And so whenever you see this truth come out, you be sharp now. Those that's been taking advantage of black folk due to the lack of knowledge will be the main ones to try to oppose, suppress, deny, reject, and keep people from knowing this truth now. The ones that have taken advantage. And they reveal themselves all the time. Every time they sit up and try to deny, say this is irrelevant, that's not true. You remember now, they just talking. And these brothers and sisters is banging from evidence. You know how we say, here's the receipts. Bring your receipts. That's us. We saying, put your proof out there. Bring your proof. Ain't no argument. If you can prove me wrong, ain't nothing I can say. I just stop talking. This is what it is, based upon these DNA facts and all these lineage. And then the brother Ron, he said he went up in different tribes. He sat down and talked with the people, and they know. Just like, I told you the story. My sister said we were better off as slaves, but she was talking about the slaves knew their land, language, and culture. It's just like you go into Africa and some of these tribes, they know their history. They know who they are. Just like when they was taking our people on the bottom of them boats, they knew who they were. They weren't getting on the boat thinking, well, I'm a blood, I'm a Crip. Yeah, No, they knew that that's the king over there. Got him all in chains. That's the princess over there. That's the queen. Well, they knew who they were. But after 400 years of being with them bandits, we come out, what up, dog? In 2022, my bitch, my hoe, I'm a thought. Man, I remember when I had been in Israel for like 25 years consecutive. And I went back to America for something, and I was down in where was I at? I think I was in Texas and walking through a mall. And, I feel like Rip Van Winkle just woke up, because I hadn't been in America in 25 years. And in 25 years, America had become a new world to me. And I was walking through this mall, and a young couple, teenage couple, was walking a few paces in front of me. And then over on that side, another young couple, boy and a girl, was walking toward us. Now I'm behind these two brother and sister, young brother, young sister. And I'm looking around the mall, I'm like, look straight up like a tourist. Where he been? You know what I'm saying? Straight up like a tourist. And so I'm cruising through the mall, walking behind these two, minding my business, not really thinking and paying attention, nothing bothered me. And all of a sudden I hear one of the brothers say, "Nigga, you looking at my bitch?" And then I look, I said, "Who said that?" And it sounded like somebody in front of me. And then the brother over there that was coming our way, "No, man, I ain't looking at your hoe." And I stopped, because it scared me. Now, I ain't been into America in all these years. And you hear over here about the shootings and all the stuff. So I ducked behind a big old, one of them big duck. It was a column that I was passing by, big one. So I ducked behind it right quick, because I said, man, they probably gonna start shooting. And then I'm peeking out there looking, and the two brothers eyeballing each other down, and the two sisters, kind of remind me like Shazam. What is this? Then they slowly walked past each other like they were growling. Man, that was it. I found the first exit, and I was out in my car and back where I came from. But when I was riding down the street, I was thinking about it. What really did kind of stick out of my mind is that the brothers say, "You looking at my bitch," and the other brothers say, "No, I ain't looking at your hoe." And them two sisters, like, no problem. And that's after me being in Israel for 25 years. I was shocked that the sisters didn't go to fight, being called bitches and hoes. Then the music. Wow. So the problem that I believe in our people knowing who they are is really not a problem. It is an issue with those that have taken advantage of us in our state of self-ignorance, lack of self and hating self, like those that's selling bleaching cream, for instance, because you over there been convinced that your black skin is not beautiful, and those that selling the fake hair, you know what I'm saying, because you've been convinced that that's beautiful, and those that selling the fingernail and doing the fingernail because you say that's attractive, and the tattoo artist, you see, all of that stuff ends up on black people, comes from a place that somebody is selling it, manufacturing it, distributing it, and the money is coming to them. And so our people walking around duded up like Bozo the Clown, all kind of colors on, heavy makeup. You don't know what's under there. I said on the YouTube, man, a few days ago, and I saw this sister. Excuse me. Her skin, face was just blotches. I'm gonna tell you what it actually was. It was just discolored, blotches and little white areas. It was light over here, a little dark. It was just all uneven. It wasn't a smooth complexion of the same, color. And so she did a makeup video, and I sat there and watched the whole thing because I was curious as to how she was gonna look when she was finished. And when she finished, it was like two totally different sisters. I'm like, wow. And then when she finished, she's sitting there smiling all pretty and everything. And then she put the picture up before. Whoa! Man, what a transformation. So the problem was the girl had the lack of vitamin A, and that lack of vitamin A was causing her skin to blotch, because, we've had that over here. We used to deal with that over here in Israel, and it was the lack of vitamin A. So we just simply increased the vitamin A over a period of time, and the skin tone even out real smooth. It was all good. But, it wasn't the use of heavy makeup. And then you had to think about it now. You go out somewhere and you meet, if you're a sister that do that like that, and you got this makeup covering over them blotches, right? Your discoloration in the skin. And then you go out somewhere and you meet a guy and kick it off good. Yeah, woo, talking, yeah, like you, like me. And then you take that makeup off. Who the heck? What? You see what I'm saying? It's just like you was deceiving, because that's not you. It's not you. The best way to deal with it is change the diet. Increase your vitamin A, clean your liver, so that with your liver being cleansed, the blood will be cleansed, then the blood will come back, from all parts of your body with the trash and dump it in the liver. And it piles up in the liver, and the liver disposes it through the colon. And also the liver had 3 capillaries that go straight from the liver to about 1 inch inside your rectum, your hole back there. And those capillaries have some of the most toxin that the blood has taken from different parts of your body, filtered through the liver, and the liver put it on out the door. When you have elimination, those toxins will flow out with your fecal matter. And so when you cleanse your liver, you uptake your vitamins, especially vitamin A. In a few weeks, those blotches will go and your skin will clear up, smooth out. You be just as beautiful, and you can go with or without makeup. But the thing is, you not putting so much makeup on that you actually changing who you are. And then when you get with that person and you take that makeup, you're another woman that you don't know. This ain't who I, what the hell? But where you come from? This ain't the woman I met at, man, you know what I'm saying? So now that's a problem. So clean your liver, drink more water, because going through life in a state of dehydration was going to cause your skin to wrinkle and crack, you know. And smile too, because the muscles in the face is hundreds of facial muscles, and smiling, exercising them all and keep the skin tight and elastic. It's real healthy. Smile, you know. Yeah. And this is a good season for black folks to smile, because we coming into our own now. The self-knowledge of who. It's a great season, great season. And remember now, be sharp. Don't let these people lull you back into a sleep with this we brothers conversation. We are? Why the hell I ain't never felt like that? Hell, I've been living in Israel 40 years. I don't feel like I've been your brother. You know what I'm saying? I've met certain individual Israelis up in here that have done me super good. Like the Yossi. I can't go that way. You know what I'm saying? You have good people and bad people all over the world. Yes, I've been in Israel all this time. I came here with the Hebrew thing and all of that. And yes, I done met some really super duper Israelis. And you know how it is. They Jewish like that. That's their faith. That's, you know, it's just like Christian. You say you Christian and everything, but you may not be that hardcore kind of Christian that's gonna be up in the church all day. You know what I'm saying? And drink a can of soda and eat a biscuit and go back to praying. You ain't that kind. You just Jewish. And so these people run around doing what they do. They working and da 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 da. And you know, they are who they are. They do what they do. That's their nature. That's who they are. So when you learn and understand a person's nature, then you can work with it. You know, you know what to say, you know what to do, you know what not to say, you know what not to do, because you don't learn their mindset. Okay? And so you see me sitting up in the crane, chilling like a villain. You know what I'm saying? Because why? I'm able to do that. You know, I'm able to do that. And so it's been quite interesting for me here in Israel, but these not my people. That's just all it is to it. They not my people. They who they are, they do what they do, that's it. And we are definitely two distinct, different individuals. I've been here for 40 years. All my children are born and raised here. My grandchildren are here. They know this land. They know these people. They done served in the military. They done been all over this land, every nook and cranny. And so have I. I thought. Now, I used to be giving them tours and moving all around Israel myself. But this place is over here. I had to go and shut my mouth and listen. Because so much information to this. You can spend decades learning and still ain't got it all. But it's interesting. You know, it's good that we waking up and coming around and knowing who we are, because the elder always say, know thyself. Know thyself. Know thyself. And again, like I said before in the last video, man, I am stoked at what I see taking place today. This is not a terrible thing. It's an excellent thing. Because these big brothers that have known, they speaking up now with no fear. Everything done changed. The spirit done changed. This is a whole different energy. And you are not going to be able to push this back in the box and just say stuff. Oh, but that's irrelevant. Hell no. It's hell irrelevant. You know, how they be saying we this and we that and all that stuff. No, partner. This knowledge is so powerful that we not only learning who we are as a people, we learning who they are. Beyond just what they saying now. Because I made that statement a long time. Okay, we hear about the Holocaust. Okay, great. But who are they before the Holocaust? Boom. Why is it that we always hear about the Holocaust? Is there something else to it? Now we learning. Now we learn. I listened to that brother break down them, their roots, their heritage, where they come from, the land, and how they, good googly boo. That's the problem. You see, because when black folks wake up and get it together, we get it together based upon a godly spirit, a godly intellect, a high level. Because remember, I told you, they did the study because they wanted to once and for all finally say prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that black folks are inferior to white folks. This is their research. Because they're always looking for a way to say they're a superior race. But they have nothing to prove it. Every single time they go and try to figure it out and say black folks are inferior, it blows up in their face. They did the DNA thing. They did it. They did it. And they found out that the European had 6 DNA series, and the African descendants have 9 DNA series. Their studies says that when you have more DNA series, you are intellectually smarter, more intelligent. This is what their report said. What did they do? Why you ain't never heard of that? Man, they copyrighted that. They copyrighted that information and slapped it on the shelf and kept it away from you. So you hear it, man, it's just bam, 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 bam. All this information that they have hidden from us, showing our incredible greatness. But see, the bandit way back then discovered that if we could take their minds and get their minds stuck on stupid, we can conquer them. He told them that when he was standing out there on the River James in 1712 in Virginia. He said, hey, Willie Lynch, he came from the West Indies. He said, man, y'all got to take these slaves' mind. You know what I'm saying? Because they know their land, language, and culture. You can't sleep because they always tearing up stuff, trying to break out of stuff, get away from this. You got to take their mind. Nowadays, they love Jesus, the white Jesus. Nowadays, they're American. Nowadays, they are Rhodes Scholars. They know something and don't know diddly squat about who they are. You know what I'm saying? They want the nice car, the nice home, the nice clothes, the nice furniture, the jewelry, eat at the restaurant, all controlled by not black people. But to just be able to go up in there and sit down and eat that slop. And ain't none of it good for you because, you know, those restaurants are businesses. But you sitting up there, you eating at the finest restaurant, you know, you all putting on the rents and drinking you some bottle of stuff, $100, you know, you feel real good. You know what I'm saying? But now, you just a high level, high quality slave now. You see, it's a good business. Slavery is an excellent business that's still going on. Don't no good businessman stop a good business that's pumping him money out. You see, Jeff Bezos is not stopped selling nothing. He is a capitalist operating in a capitalistic society, and the objective is to make money, and this information, the people buying it, is making him money. They can write all the letters they want. They can write letters from here to the moon. They can holler, shit, scream, whatever. That man ain't stopped selling this stuff. Y'all know they just had a massive layoff because they weren't making the money that they greedy butts is used to making. And here this doggone thing done came in and gave him a little shot in the arm. You see how powerful it is when you get to dealing with black people? Everything black people do is good for somebody else. Now that's got to change. And it's going to be good for black people now. All these black people that's done got smart and walked up out of Babylon, America, kudos. They getting on out of there. Getting on away from there. And the rest of them knuckleheads, they want to stay. That's your choice. That's up to you. But I've traveled all many different countries, man. And it ain't like what they say. But, you know, if you sitting there and listen to, you know, your master, he gonna tell you, you shouldn't go over there because they gonna take your passport and you can't come back. Shit, my question is, come back to what? Some more of this ass whipping y'all passing out free? That's the only thing you can get. You get a free ass whipping they passing out. Black people get that butt tapped free all the time. And you don't want to leave because they'll take your passport and you can't come back. So that is. That's all I'm going to say today right now. And what's the problem with black folks learning who they are? What's the issue? You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing all this anti-this and all these issues and everything, but I'm not hearing them explain in detail what's the issue. You know, Kyrie Irving, he tweeted something out. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't heard nothing about Ye. You know who Ye is? Kanye West. I ain't heard nothing about him lately. Why? I mean, but he send the tweet out and definitely said what he's gonna do. But they all up in Kyrie's behind. Why? Because Kanye made the most powerful statement any black man has ever made publicly dealing with these heathens. He said, I am not afraid anymore. 5 words sent him running. Woo! Why? Because it's the fear of losing that money that have kept all these people at bay. Same thing they did during the chattel slavery when they had our people in chains. They bring the strongest brother out, most respected brother amongst all the brothers and sisters, beat him to within an inch of his life, tar feathered him, put him between 2 horses and pull him apart, made sure every single slave saw that. That's to say, this will happen to you when you challenge our authority. And now in 2022, what is the fear that they use? Cutting you off from that money. That's it. And so that's why you never hear any of those high level, you know what I'm saying, big platform black folks making noise about what they know. You know, they not stupid. Why you think Cardi B and all them girls, they married? And they making all them wacky songs telling all the other sisters how to muck up their relationship, and them girls are going home multimillionaire to husbands. Ain't that crazy? They telling you how to screw up the man and rob him and take him and do all kind of ignorant stuff, and you standing at the bottom of the stairs listening to instructions from married sisters that's millionaires living in mansions on how to F up your relationship. That's dumb. And you ain't got no man. You see that? Woof. Y'all see why over here you learn to think. Y'all didn't think of that, did you? Them girls is making all them old crazy songs, causing other sisters to be just as wacky and stupid and go home and act a fool with their men, and they single, struggling, trying to get a payment, and them girls going home to mansions with multi-millions of dollars in their pocket, laughing to the bank with a husband. And all right, I ain't saying nothing else. That's enough. That's enough. Cause you know, if you're not thinking and considering, you know, ain't nothing I'm gonna say anymore to you. Look, I said it because I love you. I love you with a perfect love. Love you a whole lot. Like, you know, really, I love you from the basement of my heart, which is way down there, way, way, way up there to the attic of my mind. And my mind is way above these clouds, all that, right? And so that means I love you a lot. And that's the only reason why I say this. I mean, if I'm not saying it, who gonna say it? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna repeat the same thing what everybody else saying. I want to drop something on you that cause you to think. Use that matter between your head. And I said this because I love you and I want you to start using that incredible 9 DNA series brain. You know what I'm saying? And I love you 24/7. That means I love you non-stop. Shalom.